If you've been stretching, foam rolling, and doing mobility drills, but your body still feels tight, restricted, or just off, it's not because you need any more of that stuff. It's because your body is locked up for a reason. And if you don't fix that reason, which I'll tell you about throughout this video, then all that stretching is just wasting your time. And trust me, I've worked with hundreds of former athletes and even world class professional athletes to help them fix exactly this. And I can tell you, it's not about age, it's not something to just accept. So let me show you exactly what's happening here and how to fix it. Guys, your body doesn't just get tight for no reason. It's actually a survival mechanism. So your nervous system tightens up muscles to protect weak or unstable areas. And so just stretching away isn't actually going to solve the problem. You're actually, funny enough, making it worse potentially because you're removing your body's protective mechanisms and not really fixing what's causing it. So, a good example of this is when you're stretching your hamstrings, and yeah, you feel a little bit looser, you feel a little bit more flexible, and you feel that maybe for 10, 15 minutes, but the next day you just get back to feeling tight again. Why is that? Because the hamstrings themselves are not the issue. Your nervous system is simply tightening the hamstrings because either your glutes are weak or maybe you lack good pelvic control or whatever it is. Your hamstrings are being tightened by your body in order to provide more stability in your system. And this is a great mechanism. It's really, really intelligent. The issue is when we don't actually understand that and we try and tackle the symptom of the issue, which in this case is your hamstrings being tight, instead of actually fixing the root cause, which again, it might be your weak glutes or it might be some inactivity in your core, just to oversimplify the issue. Another great example of this, I'm sure a lot of you watching have sprained your ankles. What happens is that the peroneals, this muscle on the outside of your lower leg here, will often become really tight and overactive to prevent the ankle from rolling outwards again. And that's great. It's a really good protective mechanism in the short term. But if we never learn how to bring stability back to that ankle again and teach the nervous system how to feel safe again in that part of the body and being able to move in the ways that we need to for our sport, for our different activities, if we never reteach it that, then your body over time is going to get tighter and stiffer, and your movement is going to be more and more effortful. If any of that wasn't clear, I'm going to give you a simple test to lock that in right now. So all you're going to do is stand feet shoulder width apart, just bend down, touch your toes, see how far you can get. Don't mind me, I'm decently flexible in this position. And you're going to stop right there, come back up halfway, and what I want you to do is take 3 full inhales and exhales, really focusing on with your inhales, expanding the rib cage 360 degrees around, and on the exhales, contracting the rib cage in the same way all the way around. So you're gonna go inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Again, trying to get all the air out of your lungs on those exhales. And then on that third exhale, you're going to try and reach down and see where you go then. Most likely, you've probably gotten a little bit further than you did the first time. The reason why this works is two simple things. Number one, you, by breathing, are calming down your nervous system response because breathing is directly related or connected rather to your nervous system. So you're showing your nervous system, hey, I'm breathing nice and chill here. I can feel safe in this position. And so it lets go of that unnecessary tension that you had in the hamstrings. That's number one. Number two is because we are, with those strong exhales, activating deep muscles in our core, in our pelvic floor, that provide stability for this region of the body. And when they don't work, which for most people, they are pretty inactive because of sitting and a lot of other reasons, when they don't work, they force our hamstring to work overtime, hence the tightness. And so by taking those exhales and feeling those muscles come on, they're now working how they should, and the hamstring doesn't have to take so much load, and now you can go further in the position. So if you did gain flexibility in that exercise with just your breathing and not by forcing yourself into that position, that should tell you your body isn't actually tight, it's just protecting itself. And that stretching alone isn't going to fix the problem. And let me just say, guys, that test was just one example, and an oversimplified one at that. Your whole body operates like a chain. It all works together. Every single joint, every single part of your body operates in a similar fashion to what we found in that test just now. Another great example, I know a lot of you are probably sitting at a desk looking at a computer for hours at a day, and you probably have some kind of neck pain or tightness like a lot of my clients do. It probably isn't a neck thing. What I see a lot of the time is that the hips are actually throwing your neck out of position, and it's causing those neck muscles to work really hard to stabilize your shoulders and your head. So what I see a ton of the time is that instead of standing nice and tall with the rib cage stacked right on top of the pelvis and everything neutral, forming this nice cylinder all the way from my feet to my head, a lot of you guys who are sitting all day have these really tight hip flexors that pull your pelvis into this forwardly rotated position. And as a result, I have to jut my neck out a little bit and tilt my head up relative to where my neck is to be able to keep my gaze forward. Because otherwise, if I was in this position and I was trying to keep my neck straight, I would just be looking down at the ground. So you tilt your head up a little bit and your neck is jutted forward so that you can try and maintain somewhat of stability. So that just goes to show you, again, yet another example of how one area that's so far away, the neck you would never think is related to the hips, how those two things can be very intricately connected and influence each other. After all that, I'm sure you can see how those 5 exercises to get rid of neck pain type of posts and those knee ability type of programs are really just a time and money suck, because all they do is cycle you through the same loop of chasing a symptom, getting a little bit of relief, and then once you push your body enough, you cycle right back to feeling tight, stiff, and even injured and probably frustrated. But imagine for a second if you were to take an actual assessment over your body, understood exactly what was at the root of your issues, you were to plug those gaps, get your body firing how it's designed to, and then you got back to training and performing, doing whatever sports or activities you want with full confidence and control over your body. That's exactly what I help my clients do. So if you're somebody who's tired of maintaining and being stuck in this cyclical loop and you actually want to get to the root of your issues, book a consultation down below. Me and my team will take care of you. We'll ask you a bunch of questions, get to understand your situation, and we'll tell you how we can help from there. So if that's you, book a consultation call down below at the link in the description, and we'll see you there.